I don't know if you can send it to me so I can like watch it on my my computer and draw on it, etc.
Like, how do you mean? Like, I can just send my in-game name. I don't know if you have an EU account.
Yeah, I do, but you can also like find the replay in your folders if you've downloaded the game and send it on Discord, so I can like check it with an app that I downloaded. Do you know where to find the replays?
I'm looking through them right now.
I'll see if I can watch it on my computer. If not, then I'll ask you to stream it.
I don't know, I can't find it.
I think it's supposed to be in like documents, League of Legends, and replays, and you should have all of your .ruffle files.
I mean, I can see them, but if I click on them, they don't actually open. I don't know.
Yeah, because you need a specific application to open them, or basically League of Legends can open them, but I have an application to open them without League of Legends. You can just send me the games that you want to that you want to replay or watch at least.
I'm just gonna send the one that I think that it is.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know if that's like better, but I also have like a couple of games uploaded on like YouTube, and then it's like with my POV. But
Yeah, I see. Well, we could also do it if it's not working, but for a macro point of view, it's better to have the whole replay. See if I can watch it. Okay, so you were playing Evelyn with Kale, Kiana, Kaya, and Tarek, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, where are you? Hurry up. Sorry, I had some troubles launching the game. Okay, so do you want me to stream? Yeah, I'm gonna stream the game on Discord. Second.
Okay.
Okay. Uh,
I mean, it's probably a good game since I played like kind of bad, I think, for myself.
yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see that. I'm not gonna judge like mechanics, etc. I'm just gonna talk about like macro games and decisions that you could have made better. There's a rule.
Yeah, I'm talking about those.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Uh,
Yeah, I
shares.
made some dumb decisions. So,
Okay. Now you should see my screen.
yeah.
Let me just get my pen. Okay. Wait, I cannot have my pen and League of Legends at the same time.
Even if you have
No,
it
it's
like
okay.
on borderless.
Yeah, it wasn't borderless. That's why. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Um, so first thing first, as usual, you could be mid, you could be top, or anything like that. You always have to check the different matchups. And it's even more important when you're a jungle to understand where will be your priorities, where will be your weak lanes, etc., to understand on which side of the map you should be playing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, you're playing blue side, you have a K on top against a Nurgot. So, first thing first is your top matchup is ranged versus melee. So,
Mm-hmm.
basically, we can already tell that Urgot will be playing the first wave really fast. Can I change the color real fast? We already know that Urgot will play the first wave really fast, then
Mm-hmm.
go a little bit further on the lane and start to crash here on the second wave and try to crash the third wave and bounce back. Okay, this is how it will go top lane. Just because it's a melee versus range, so we already know how the three first waves, will
Will play out.
will play out. Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is for top lane. Now we can check bot lane. We have a bot lane with a melee support and Axaya. Axaya has a huge wave clear, but she has a melee support. And Varus and Thresh are two ranged carries. So should be Varus and Thresh pushing for level 2 and
Mm-hmm.
applying pressure like I think it should be like first wave, damn it fat. First wave on the middle, then second wave they should be zoning or zoning around here or already be crashing at the second wave and then bouncing back on the third. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is like some basic knowledge that you're supposed to have when playing jungle. Like understanding how the wave should be happening. Like we don't know if they'll actually play correctly the wave or if like someone will get caught off guard or something like that. But having a general understanding of how the side lanes should be playing will give you your first clear direction. So you can always be on the right side of the map at the right moment. Okay. Okay. And then for mid lane, we can also try to guess. Like, we have a matchup Kiana against Zed. Do you know who should be pushing in this case?
Well, my guess is that.
Yeah, so basically when you're having a melee against melee on mid lane, so here we have two assassins. So the one that will take the priority is the one that hits the wave first. So basically it's really like a 50-50 in this case. But since Zed has a better wave clear ability level 1 with his shurikens, he should be able to take priority. And level 2, the first one that takes level 2 between those two will usually be able to crash the wave on the second or the third and then get the bounce back. So this is a 50-50 lane. So it's hard to guess who will have the push. But one thing important to understand in those kind of matchup is that the first one to get the kill in this kind of lane will always have priority afterward. So now that we talked about priority, etc., and we know where the lanes should be, like here we know that Hurgot will be playing around here on the minimap. The middle it will be even, so they're still even. And Varus and Thresh should be pushing too. So you have like two side lanes that will be pushed, then will bounce back, and a mid wave that will be even. So you can basically already know where you will be able to gank and where you will be able to play. We know that a bot lane crushing is more threatening than a top lane crushing because Varus can still apply pressure while Thresh can move and help his jungler to invade. Like if they crash bot lane here, if they crash, we already know that Thresh, well, it will depend on the elo for sure, but if they crash, Thresh can just move up there in your jungle and play your bot side. Well, when it's a little bit harder for a Hurgot to go all the way around and to play your top side.
Yeah, since he won't have anyone pressuring top.
Yeah, and it's like if he leaves his lane for too long, he can lose a lot of minions because here it will create a slow push. So if he moves for too much time, or just moves without being sure that he will be able to freeze the next wave, he will lose a lot of minions. So it's easier for bot lane to play around your bot side than top lane playing around your top side, at least in the early game. So basically, when you're in these kind of cases where we already know that all your lanes will be pushed on the sides, the best path to take, I would say, is going from bot to top. So you are sure that you won't be annoyed by the enemy support. So basically, in this game, I would have started on the bot side here and try to clear upward. So basically, I can cover my kill so she doesn't get dove here against Urgot and Ivern. So going like a 3 camp, like red Raptors, blue, and then covering the dive. Okay, here we have a better view. Yeah, so the path I would have chose is like red Raptors. We're going blue, and then we are able to be on the top side here to cover a dive. Urgot and Ivern on Gale, because that's the kind of shit that happens a lot in ILO. Like Ivern just passes like that and they dive on the third wave. Playing like this, you basically allow your kill to be safe, because Kale is your latest carry, so you have to be sure that Kale is in a good spot in this game. By playing on top side, you allow her to be safe from dice. You also allow yourself, get some free farm on the top side, because you know that your god will be pressuring here on the turret. So you basically have a 1v1 against Ivern, or if he tries to roam, where then you manage to successfully protect your Kale. So basically going topside here allows your Kale to breathe, just to farm freely. And I think that's the win condition in this game. I don't know if it was really clear. Yeah, the Kale.
Okay.
I would play for Kale in this game, at least on the early game. So was it clear why I was passing top in this game?
I mean, it does make sense, but I didn't do it since.
Okay, you didn't do it.
I mean, I just thought myself like Urgot is a pretty strong champ early game, and Evelyn is not.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if I could like get anything out of it.
Well, we're not playing like jungle. Isn't only a role where killing is the only way of getting people ahead. Like protecting your laners is as important as getting a kill. Like just being topside here is so important, just because it prevents every, well, they could still happen, but at least it's safer. Like it's safe to prevent the enemy top laners from diving your kill, because if she dies on the third wave here, like the top lane is over for the next 20 minutes. So even if you're not playing for a gank right here, like even if you're not ganking, you're making sure that your Kale can freely farm the first 3 waves and play for her win condition to get level 16. That's how you should be thinking, and not thinking about where can I gank and where can I apply, where can I get some kills. In some games, it will be important for you to get some kills, but here, since all of your lanes have no pressure, like it's really hard to get some kills, at least in the early game still. Okay?
I mean, the reason for me, that's like my thought process behind it, is Ivern is pretty weak early game, because it's more like a supportive champ, and that was like the main reason that I wanted to apply pressure early game already.
Yeah, okay, but where do you want to apply pressure then? Where? Well, I guess you could be applying pressure on mid lane. This is one thing you can do. For sure, applying pressure on mid lane is a good decision too in this kind of game, because as we said, the first one to get a kill in this matchup will always get priority. But this is a thing that you can do after being sure that your top isn't dove. Like the first 3 waves on mid lane, since they can go either way. Well, since it can go either way, sorry. You're not sure already if you can like make a gank because Zed managed to push, or if you will have to cover from a gank because Kiana will have the lead. You see, because it's too much of a coin flip. So there's nothing sure around mid lane. One thing sure is that Kale is gonna get pushed for sure, and bot lane should be pushed also almost for sure. So we're playing for some moves that aren't coin flip, like aren't random. See, like it's basically climbing is in ranked is more about consistency than coin flipping. you could be coin flipping, as I told Goku. You could be coin flipping if you're way better mechanically than your opponent, and you know that the move, well, you can just gap it alone. But if you're not better mechanically, as most players are, you should only be playing for the moves that are sure, and here's the only thing that is sure is your gut will be pushing kill. Anyway, this was the kind of thought process that you should be having going into the game. Like, at first, it will take some time to think about how the game will happen, which lane should be pushing, etc. But with experience, like one thing you should do is like in champ select, you write somewhere down like how the lane should be happening. Like here in this kind of game, you can just say top pushing, mid pushing, and I don't know, Xayah Tariq pushing. And after the game, you check the replay and you see which lane was pushing and which lane wasn't pushing in the end, and so you can adjust your thought process and like come up with a better game plan for the next games. Like this is how you could improve really fast in general. Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. So let's see how the game went. So here I didn't talk about invade because invade are randoms, and as Evelyn, you shouldn't be invading. I think, even if you have a quite good invade. Well, you should have a really good invade, at least to invade with Evelyn. So we won't go over when to invade and when to not.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried it a couple of times, but it usually just doesn't work out.
Okay, so indeed, started topside. I think since you dropped your ward here, so this is a good ward. I think since you place it, I guess you know why it's a really good ward. So we won't go too much over it. But yeah, indeed, you went topside. Now I'm afraid of how the top lane will go, and she didn't even pull you. So you're starting. Oh yes, just okay. So now we're not biased. Sorry. Yeah, as we can see, that managed to take the push as we thought about, because he used his shuriken on the whole wave, so it's basically pushing. Here we have Pure God being pushed. Okay, so here we saw Ivern. So this is a really important information. So I haven't seen a single back ping on your top lane when you saw Ivern. Like, I haven't seen a single ping on Ivern. When you get this kind of information, you have to tell your team. Like, I don't know if it's bugged or something like that, but there's no ping right now. Nobody pinged that Ivern was seen here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now your kill, if she was blind, not bugged. Okay. Now your kill, if she's blind, and she's most likely blind because she's stealing this hero, like, she doesn't know that Ivern is still here, and I don't know how she managed to get priority, but her wave is slow pushing out. So now we're in the case like where, as we said, Jurgot is playing his game plan of having the wave frozen around here and pushing the Kale out of it, even earlier, because like she misplayed her first wave, and you're passing away from her. So basically, top lane right now is lost. At this moment, top lane is lost because you went bot side. But it's kind of because of her. Anyway, you could have protected her if you went the other way around, but that's not the problem anymore now. Now that you've basically decided that your top lane was ruined instead of your bot lane, you have to be proactive on bot lane to make sure that the side where you are playing is at least a winning side. Okay?
Yeah.
I think you know that basically the first, well, more like the side where you start is the weak side. League of Legends. So basically you started top side, so your weak side is Kale. And now if she ends up in 0-10, like mostly because of jungler's fault. Because you decided that you wouldn't be covering her, okay? And the same, it goes the same way if you started red side. If your bot lane is getting crushed and dove at level 3 because you're in top side, it's because of you, because you chose to play around top side. So when you're starting like this on a side, you have to really make sure that the lane you're passing towards is gonna win. And we'll see how you can make a move lane right now. Yeah, and there still haven't been a single ping in the jungle on Iron, so I guess nobody knows that we've seen Iron. Did you see him in this game?
Yeah, I think for like a millisecond, but I wasn't too sure about it, so.
Okay. Okay, so now one important thing that is you have to understand about wave control, because many junglers say that it's not important to understand wave management, etc., because they do not have to manage the wave. But the important thing when you're a jungler is that you have to really understand it, because every single you have to understand it on the 3 waves at the same time, on the 3 lanes at the same time.
Yeah.
Here we saw that Zed managed to crash the wave level 2, which is quite normal, because as we said, he has the lead early on with his shuriken, so he can push the wave fast. And since he crashed the wave, like we saw him crash the wave right now, here he crashed the wave, so now it slow pushes back. Up here. So now we know that on the on the 13 wait, no, 30, yeah, on the 30 next seconds, wave will be here. Then in 1 minute it will be around here, and Kiana will try to crash in 1 minute 30 here. Okay, that's how the next 3 waves should happen. So we basically know that in 1 minute we have to be mid lane here, or we can already we could be moving mid lane like already like right now after getting level 2, so we can make a gank. Like understanding wave management is and how can I say this, and cutting it in different like 30-second segments is important to understand when you can gank and when you should be covering your laners. A crash, like right here, is a timing where you can gank if the crash isn't too heavy. Like here we have forces. For sure it's level 1, so you couldn't be here right now, okay? But it's just to understand the principle, okay? If there is a crash, it's a timing for you to gank. If there is a freeze, so here, it's a timing for you to gank. If there is a freeze here, it's a timing for you to cover. So sit in a bush and wait for the enemy to do something. And if the wave is here, it's a timing for you to invade, because your laner is free, so he can roam with you. That's basically 4 important timings that you have to understand when playing jungle. And it all comes to wave management. because now that the wave is froze, well, no, now that the wave is crushed, sorry, you know that the next 30 seconds will get the waves in one of these three states here.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, makes sense. It just slow pushes back.
Yeah. So now, basically, as a jungler now, you should be understanding that here this wave will slow push, so your KL will be in a position where you have to cover her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same goes here for Kiana. Here, she will be around close to the enemy turret in like 1 minute. And here, your Xayah and Taric managed to push. So basically, they will either be like here in a almost even wave, or here on a cover timing for you, because I managed to get early player. So now you know that basically, well, no, well, you have the timing on where to play and where not to play, just because you understood how wave management was working. But anyway, now we see that Zed managed to crash. So as I said, you can finish your clear right here, and you know that you will have to cover Kiana, or either you will have a timing because Kiana will be able to crash with our slow push to invade bot side Ivern, since we saw Ivern on the top side. So we know that Ivern started top side. Okay, that was a lot to uncover. So now I'll just play the game a little bit and see if everything.
Yeah, like the thing in this game also is I like almost never play against Ivern, so I don't understand anything about that champ.
Well, basically, it's like any other jungler. He just clears a bit differently because he will obviously have a gank timing before clearing his camps, but the jungler concepts are still the same. Like here, we never talked about how Ivan should be clearing. We only talked about where you should be going with your clear.
Yeah.
Where Ivan will be is a different topic, because it's important if you want to gank to avoid a counter gank, or if you want to invade to make sure that the side that you invade is still full of his jungle. And here we know that here you saw him, so it could be like Iron, it could be, I don't know, Trindamir, Kindred, or Maokai. We know that he has had to start topside to go to this quadrant without being seen. So this quadrant is still up. That's not a problem of Ivern or anything like that. Okay?
Okay.
So here we have Kiana slow pushing back, so we know that she will be able to find a crush soon enough. Or if she doesn't play, yeah, low wave management is often strange, but anyway. That's the kind of stuff that you should be still checking like every once in a while. Like starting a camp, you should be watching every single lane to understand how the whale will happen. Like here, it's kind of sure now that the whale will crash, so you have a huge bot priority, and you can play around it. So here, you see, we were talking about like wave state and where to cover, etc. As we said, the wave was here. We saw them pushing, so we knew that the wave was about to be here. So you had a cover timing. And here, well, even if it was kind of lucky, because I don't think you kind of planned it, you were more like full clearing and happened to be at a good place at the right time. But you see that we managed to understand that there was, I don't know the correct English, but a move was about to happen bot lane, and you had to cover it. And here you're at the right place at the right time. See?
Yeah.
But you could have predicted it and make and like now in a game where the kind of way states will be the same, you will know that you have an opportunity here to get a counter gank on a jungler in this kind of way state. Thus, this is the generalities that you have to understand from this game. Okay. Now you can plan it. So basically, you can play around it. That's the important part when you're playing jungle. It's all about like prediction, about where you should be at what timings. And here you're in a good position. Anyway, let's see how it goes now, because we can see that our bot lane has a level advantage. You have a level advantage on Iron. Like this move, you just have to full commit. Like there's no way it goes wrong. Oh, and this Thresh is something else. Okay, now one important concept here. So now we know that your bot lane just destroyed the enemy bot lane, so they are gonna crash for sure. Okay. Since the wave is crashing, as we said, we have an invade timing. Because now your bot lane can just crash and move with you to help you. They don't have to, and they will not always do it, because sometimes they will just want to get back and recall as fast as they can. But here, you can play aggressively, or at least you can play to get some vision here and the scuttle, because you know that your bot lane crashed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's see what you're doing with this information now. Okay, so it could have been a little bit better. I think at least the what can I say? The least you could be doing in this kind of situation, for sure, is getting scuttle. But please at least hit this plant. So we get information about whether he cleared his bot jungle or not. Okay. Like
Yeah, that
jungle
was
is
probably my bad, since I saw the Ivern like walk away with like 100 HP, right? So
yeah.
I was just thinking that he was probably just gonna recall, and I take the scuttle like real quick right now, then recall and hopefully meet him at the other scuttle.
Oh, you wanted to double scuttle him?
I mean, like,
yeah,
it
you
would
could
probably make sense that he would go there.
for sure. Yeah, but
so
yeah. How can I tell it? Basically, here you had your setup, which was your bot lane crushing the wave. So basically, the moves that you could be playing is either like here you played for the scuttle. Like this is a good move. So your reward is like getting vision in the river. Here, getting vision. Oh shit, my English is dead. Getting vision in the river, and this is good. Like you also had 80 gold, but one other thing that you could be doing, which it doesn't fuck up your tempo, is getting information on whether his bot side is still up or not. Because if his bot side is up, you can basically just say like screw scuttle and play his bot side, because it will get you more gold than the scuttle. Like if here you take the plant, you see that like I don't know, I don't know if we saw the blue buff or no. No, basically we didn't see his blue buff, so we were almost sure that his blue buff was still up. Okay. Like right here, instead of playing Scuttle, because Scuttle like is the safest option here. We know that he cannot play Scuttle, right?
Yeah.
Because he has 100 HP and he backed off around here. But we also saw that he didn't have his blue buff, and we have a huge setup because their bot lane is dead and your bot lane is crashing. So you can go for the more aggressive move and go play his blue buff here.
Okay.
Like it's a safe option because we know that their bot lane cannot be back because they died, so they are around here. And we know that Iron cannot contest it because he has 100 HP. So basically, you can leave him his Gromp because he was faster than you to get on his Gromp, but you can fight his blue buff here. And it's as safe as playing the Scuttle, but by playing the blue buff here, you can just afterward retreat and play the Scuttle too. And then you manage to to cut off some of his farm while still getting your safest resource, as the Scuttle was still up for you. Okay?
Yeah, makes sense.
So here your mistake was more about understanding what you could do with your setup. So as we said, when your setup is as important as a crash on either mid lane or side wave, like really your move has to be a little bit more impactful than just getting like the safest options. Like if your move is getting the safest option here, you're kind of missing on some goals that you could be getting. Like here, you could be like reading a little bit more and getting like some buffs or shit like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Just because you have a huge setup. If the setup was a little bit like more sketchy, like your bot lane having a freeze and forcing your enemy laners to shove the wave, etc. Like this is the kind of setup that leaves you less time, so you have to go for the safest option in this kind of moves. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so now you said that you wanted to double scuttle him. I think the correct move while doing so is going for a transition gank here. We know that Ivern backed because he had 100 HP, right?
Yeah.
So basically, there's no way that he. Oh yeah, and by the way, you should be pulling Skull to 1 mid lane here. Well, in the case we wanted to do a transition gank at least. So let me recap. We knew that Ivern had to back because he was too low. You had your free Skull here, so you could push it around here. And then, since Ivern was not here, at least, we knew that he couldn't be in this bush trying to counter gank or trying to cover his Z because he was at base. So basically, what you can do here is like just push Scuttle around here, finish it, and then just pass through mid lane. Like you can just set up a charm on Z and try to look for a gank, not forcing a gank, like not using, like not burning your flash or anything like that. Just passing through mid, forcing a gank on Z, and making sure that he must back off. So okay, have you ever had a a transition gank before? Like, have you ever made a transition gank before?
Probably yes, but
Okay.
like the reason that I'm recalling right now is because I don't want to be fighting the Ivern in river with like an item disadvantage, and since Urgot would probably have prio.
Yeah. No, here he doesn't have prio here. Like this is the kind of thing that you can be watching in game. Like here, he doesn't have priority. Wave is not pushing back right now, so he should be freezing instead of trying to crash. But anyway, Shurgut isn't like your problem right now. We have to think about more Zed here.
Yeah, like the thing is, this top lane went kind of different than the usual top lane. let's say it like that.
We saw that, yeah. Okay, so just let me explain how transition ganks are working and why it's so annoying when you're a mid laner to get transition ganked. Because it's so fucking annoying and it loses some game. So basically, we have this kind of setup. Like basically, you transition gank if your mid laner is around here or around here. That's the two kind of spot when you can transition gank. You do not have to transition gank if the wave is pushing here, because you can just pass behind and not being seen.
Yeah, makes sense.
But if he's in state 1, in state 2, or in state 3, you can basically just transition gank by doing different things. Like if it's in state 1, so basically the enemy have crushed, basically. So you can just like pass through mid, make sure that our Kiana waves clear fast, and get her to get an even wave mid, and force her to move. Because if the wave is in an even state, like if the wave is around here, is fighting in the middle, if nobody hits it, well, it's just basically a dead wave, so we don't care. So you can just like ping your Kiana to move if it's on an even wave. Like she won't lose any CS. And Zed will, seeing Kiana move, will either try to move fast or try to crash fast. If he tries to move fast, it's a 2v2, so basically it's the same. And if he tries to catch fast, you have a number advantage on the scuttle fights, so you can basically win. So here, you're creating a winning situation by just coming, allowing.
My question here is like, is it worth it to just do a gank like this and not get a recall off?
Yes, it is, because you will get a number advantage, and a number advantage is better than an item advantage. Like basically, if Ivern comes back with, I don't know, I think he buys 800 gold item that gives like shield power, mana regen, and a little bit of AP. Okay, he has an item that gives him 25 AP, but in exchange, you have an Evelyn that doesn't have any item, and a Kiana that doesn't have any item, but just being 2 and being like 1 level ahead of him gives you almost the same amount of gold. And here, by just being 2, we have, without spending gold, we're just talking about pure value. Okay. We already have like items. Oh, here. 350, and well, this is shit, but anyway. And for the, I think it's 300 gold of stat value per level, if I remember well. So basically, your Kiana herself is worth like 1.2k gold, and you too. So he has 2k gold. Sorry, he has 2k gold because he backed, so he could buy an item costing like 800 gold. Like Ivern, worth, since he's level 4, he's worth like 1.2k gold. Plus he bought his 800 gold item because he backed. So Ivern is worth like 2k gold. On the other hand, you have like Kiana, who didn't back, so she only has her net worth, which is like 1.2k gold, and he has her longsword, which is like 350 gold. Okay, so Kiana is worth like 150. So sure, here you're still in disadvantage, but since you're 2, you're here too with your 1.2k gold too. So basically, you are worse by being 2, like 200 and 750. So you have like the gold advantage just by being 2.
Okay, so but let's say I did that gank and we do have the number advantage. It's like an advantage for like the scuttle fight, right?
Yeah.
But is it worth like slowing down my second clear that much by not having any items then?
No, because you're back. After this fight, you're backing for sure.
But then I'm losing tempo on my second clear now.
No, because since you will have more gold than Ivern, because you managed to get the gold here. Well, if you manage to get blue here, you transition gank here, so you may have 300 gold around that, or if you don't, you just have 80 gold here. You have basically earned like 250 gold more than Iron. So basically, your next clear will be way faster because you will have a huge item. Like you will have 130 gold, which is like boots and X-Tech alternator, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, your next clear will be way faster. You're not missing out on too much tempo, and the important thing is like you're also, by doing this, preventing Iverns from farming. So you're using some of your tempo to make sure that Ivern isn't able to farm anymore.
Okay.
So instead of thinking about tempo, you should be thinking about creating a massive gold advantage in this kind of situation.
But isn't it that I would have to pick either invade or like getting the scuttle? Because I can't do both, right?
If you invade it here,
yeah,
I think, yeah, you if you invade it here,
I kind of have to pick one then.
I think you should have to leave the top scale scuttle, but the mid gank would still be a good option. It wouldn't be a transition gank anymore, but instead it will just simply be a gank, and then you could be backing. Like this would have been a free. What can I put this up? Like, yeah, and basically we
so
do not.
What would you say that's worth more? Like, is it worth more taking the blue, or is it worth more doing a transition gank on mid and then going for scuttle?
I think it's better to take blue. Like the buff camps are way too important to be given. Like
okay, so if there was no buff, then probably the mid play is better, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like here, it's all about taking this plant.
Okay, makes sense.
Like you take this plant, you see if he has wolf, blue, and well, you could be checking Grom, but it takes a little bit more time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see that his whole bot side jungle is up, you can basically like just say, fuck this color, we don't care, and just play his whole bot side.
Okay.
And it's not that risky. Like, I think, no, you don't have a ward yet, right? You're playing with... No, not yet. Yeah, so it could be risky to play this wolf, but if you're using the plan to see if like the blue buff is up and the grump is up, like you can basically take those two camps and fuck the skull because it gives less money than those two camps.
Yeah.
Okay, so oh yeah, I didn't finish my explanation about transition gank. Like basically the thing that you want to have when doing a transition gank is pressuring your opponent out of the wave, like around here, helping your laner clear the wave. Like you don't have to take the CS, you just have to make sure that the wave is able to crash.
Can push out,
yeah. And when the wave is crashed, you just created your setup of having a crashed wave. Okay?
Because they got prio then?
Yeah. Because since you ganked, you allowed your mid laner who was in a like bad position or a froze position to instead get a crash and get in a position where his move is to help you, and his move is your setup. See?
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically what a transition gank is doing, and we often see them like when people are playing Jarvans or stuff like that ganks easily. Like there's a huge Jarvan player that I often meet when I'm playing Flex with my friends, whose name is J Love Cat. So basically, what he does is he starts at the enemy red buff. Like even if the jungler is starting here, he invades with his mid and his bot. He invades, he fights at red, he takes red because he managed to zone out the enemy jungle. Afterward, he takes raptors because the enemy jungler is still out and the mid lane and bot lane are starting to miss out some farms, so they have to get out of the wave. So he takes raptors, and then he makes a transition gank through mid. He makes a transition gank through mid because often the mid laner will be playing around here. So he just like passed like this way. He EQs around here to make sure that the enemy laner is zoned out. He hit the wave, like he land like 3 or 4 hit to make sure that the wave is really crashing, and then he instantly invade like blue buff or wolves. And in this kind of situation, we see that like here the jungler was zoned out, so he isn't level 2. He wasn't able to play the Raptors because his mid laner had to leave to get the wave around here. And then he's able to play blue buff because by transition ganking on the slow pushback, he managed to get a second crush here that allows him to get the tempo and the priority mid to play the other buffs. So that's why transition ganks are so powerful. It's only because it creates like a whole new crush setup to make some really aggressive move in the enemy jungle. Okay. So
and it still depends on like the top lane, right? Or no?
Well, it could be depending on the top laner, but even if the top laner is moving, like it's a 2v2 because the mid laner isn't moving. And if really the top laner forces a move and the mid laner forces a move too by letting the wave crush and starts roaming, you can just cancel the move, and you're not the one that got the gold, but you made sure that at least the mid laner and the top laner lost some gold here. Okay. Like it's not always about you getting the gold, but it's more about making sure that your team gets ahead in gold in this kind of moves. So anyway, you really have to understand that transition ganks are one of the most powerful tools that you can use to go from one side to the other. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. So let's see what happened next. RIP, rest in peace. So here, like, you really had such a freaking, like, look how low he is. And he's still in a really disadvantaged, not in a safe place.
Yeah.
And Kiana is keeping a freeze, so, oh my god, it's like, this is so fucking free. So yeah, basically doing this, you had your solo for free. But I think even here, hitting Scuttle is a mistake. Like, I think in this kind of setup, like here, she managed to set up a freeze. She has a level advantage. He has water.
Yeah.
The most easy ganks that you can wish for. Okay? And by ganking mid, you then allow yourself to play the skull freely too. Or if Ivern moves in and plays Scuttle, well, anyway, he got it and well played, but at least you managed to get 300 gold from here. Okay?
Alright.
Like, Scuttle isn't as important as it used to be in the, like, 1 or 2 years ago. Like, now it's only 80 gold and some vision. And here, as we said in the first part of the review, like, the first one who gets a kill in this lane always have priority and destroys the game. And here, it was really an insanely good timing to get your Kiana ahead and make sure that your mid lane is a winning lane now, okay? So I guess you will probably do it after your Scuttle. Oh shit. Oh. Oh, okay, crushed. Anyway, let me just hit back. Yeah, so you started fighting the Ivern instead of just like going mid. Like, where was it? Okay, no, I went a little bit too ahead. Yeah, wait, how did he manage to take it?
That's how.
Wait, oh shit! I didn't. Oh yeah, we didn't have vision of him.
Yeah, I walked past him. I don't know. Apparently, he was in that bush. Okay.
I don't know if it's a bug or not, but please, if this is up, if this plant of vision is up, hit it always. Oh, I think he saw it. I don't know if it's up. I think it's up.
I mean, the plant is up, but I don't think it would have spotted him.
No, but still, it gives up it gives the information about if there's a vision in this bush, so you can like threaten the top lane more.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, now you do it.
Mm.
I think it would have revealed him. Actually, I'm not sure, but uh, without even considering that Ivern was here, like just hitting this plant toward topside applies a lot of pressure on your gut
Yeah.
because now you know where the wards are and you can like dodge them to gank. So basically, he has to crush the wave and back off because he knows that you're topside. So once again, you make sure that your KL is able to farm without getting like bullied. Just hitting the plant in this case allows your KL to breathe a little bit. So you should always be taking it. So here you got your Carab stolen, and here you're doing the most emotional play that you could be thinking of, which is going for the one who stole your skull instead of doing the right play, which, as we said, was ganking mid.
Yeah.
Okay, emotional plays are really hard to get rid of, but to be really honest with you, I think it loses like 60 or 70% of the games.
Wait, what?
Like, so many people are just like uh, throwing games or making some shit macro moves because of emotional plays. Like, just because, like, your top player died, so your bot lane is like, okay, we have to do something, and they try to rush a fight. This is the kind of emotional play that throws some games. Here, you got your skull stolen, so you decided to run after him instead of playing for the mid gank. This is an emotional move that cost you like 300 gold on a winning mid lane, okay?
Yeah.
I don't have any tips to avoid doing some emotional moves, and I know I do some myself because, like, yes, it's impossible to avoid, but you always have to keep in mind what is my next move, and this wasn't your next move. Chasing the Ivern wasn't your next move, and it uh, made you move away from the theoretical next move that you should have done. Yeah. Anyway, it's just like some silly emotional plays mistake, but now thing is, we have your Kiana, who lost a lot of HP to set up a freeze, and is now in a really bad spot because now you're passing away from her. So she used a lot of resources to make sure that the wave is in the perfect place for you to gank, but you ignored her. So now she's basically fucked. So it's 4 minutes 37 into the game, okay? And you've already taken your first decisions that fucked up your kill by passing away from her and not pinging her that Ivan was here, even though she was in a slow push position. And 2 minutes later, you made the decision of going back farming instead of helping your mid lane, which was in a really perfect spot for you. So you basically said fuck mid. So yeah, in 4 minutes and 30 seconds, you managed to fuck 2 of your lanes, okay? That's the kind of mistake that you have to look for. Now, the only lane that you haven't fucked is bot lane, because you were here at the correct timing by covering here. Okay, the game now is about to get really, really hard if Kiana dies here. And she's supposed to be dying here. Oh, and she's not beefing at all, so hard. And now she's frozen. Okay. And here it's slow pushing. Yeah, basically the two lanes are so fucking dead. Like in this kind of situation, what are you thinking about? Are you just watching your next camp and thinking like, it's free goal?
I mean, yeah, CS is.
Yeah, you haven't watched your lane a single time. Like you went from Grump to Raptors, and now you're going to your Krugs, and you haven't watched a single time that your bot lane was in your top lane was in a slow push on a level 6 timing, so she was basically about to die from Urgot. You didn't watch too that your mid lane was in a slow push back on a level 6 timing, so she was about to either get a kill or get killed by Zed. And instead, you decided to go for your Krugs on a level 4 bot lane who was slow pushing away from you, so you couldn't gank. You could only like prevent some ganks. Like basically, as I said, you just left your whole top side dying just by going for this Krugs right here. And you should have understood, if that's the correct stance, that either your mid lane or top lane was in a really, really bad spot right now because of the level 6 advantage that they were about to get. Okay? You have to make sure that you check every single lane state between every camps, or at least before before you end your camp. Like, what's this? Here, you start your Raptors. You should be checking mid lane. You see that the wave is frozen. You see that this is the wave where Kenna is supposed to get level 6. I don't know how we can check here. You know that the wave that she's supposed to get her level 6 from, here, the cannon wave. So after this camp, you're supposed to play with this wave on your level 6 timing on Kiana to kill Zed, for sure. Like, should be obvious in this situation, on this camp, right now, okay? Or, if we're going back to when you were doing Chrome here, Okay, here you're clearing comps. Okay, you're starting to move to pass toward both side. You should be watching all your lane and be like, okay, here the wave is still frozen. She's quite low on resources, and Zed is like half HP, so it's a free gank. So I could be going mid. And you also have to check like top lane. Okay, top wave is slow pushing. No, actually it could be freezing right now. So since top lane is freezing, I can pass towards my bot side. So that's the kind of thing you should be thinking while hitting your camps. Okay, and here I can tell that you weren't really thinking about your lanes. You were just thinking about where is your next camp. What is the best way to clear your whole jungle? You didn't even like flick or fake the fact that you wanted to gank mid. You just went for a full clear without even thinking about your laners. Okay, this has to change like really fast, and it will really improve your gameplay. Anyway, now I don't even know. Oh, she managed to get level 6 right now. In a high elo game, like this game is over. This lane is over for Kiana. The wave is still frozen. She didn't manage to get the kill. She's backing on a frozen wave against Azet that will get his level 6. Like this lane is over for your Kiana. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you could have been there to help her. And now instead, you traveled all the way back to bot to do. Yeah, nothing. But at least, since you had the setup of crushing the wave, yeah, you can do Drake. That's. You're not even the one who pinged it, right? I'm not sure that you were about to play Drake in this timing. Alright, were you?
I mean, I think it was.
Like, what was this movement here? I think you wanted to kill that in this kind of in this moment.
I mean, that's kind of gonna be impossible since I'm level 5, he's 6.
Yeah.
I have no envies. And my only setup is my W, so...
But, like, this movement, right here.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the
Here.
movement, but I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah. Anyway, playing Drake, I think is the safest option since you had the setup of a crushing wave outside. Okay, now you had your objective, so yeah, recalling is the best option. And when you're back to base, it's time to watch the game, watch the different lanes, and understand where you want to be. Okay? Each and every recall, you should be thinking about on which side you want to play and what's the objective or result that you want to get. So here you backed. You see that your blue buff is about to respawn. I think it must be like in 40 seconds or something like that. We see that Zed is recalling, so Kiana will basically be crashing. We see that Kill is going back on an even wave, and we see that bot lane has a freeze. The play I would go for here, I think, would be going bot lane to play on the froze bot side with the priority of your Kiana. Since it's sure that since Zed backed, she will have priority and she will be able to move. So Basically, here I already see a 4-man gank setup that should not like miss or fail. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I would be going bot and try to pick up 2 kills on the bot lane. But since okay, I don't know how she killed her anyway. Since we're still in kinda in a kind of gameplay where I think you're not thinking about wave states and gameplay as a whole, you went for your camp instead of going for the correct macro move, and you went. You were flabbergasted by this Ivern smite. Like you basically went on the other side of the map where your KO. Well, I don't know how I managed to kill top lane, so there's nothing to play top. You could have backed to a blue buff, yeah, if it was up, if Ivern didn't get it, and you would have been waiting for your Gromp to spawn and hoped for KL to be pushed so you could gank her. Like you went for so many flips instead of going for a safe move. But I don't know if you see it now, but okay, now you're trying to invade, having no priority with your Z. So this was also a waste of time. So basically, no, please do not go in the enemy jungle. Here you wasted like basically 30 seconds doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to I don't know how you were thinking or stuff like that, so I can give you some tips. But yeah, I think having for objective like where you want to gank depending on waves is really important. Here, going for top side right now. Now that you've seen that, I don't think it's a correct option. I guess we were looking for Ivern here, but yeah. Anyway, okay. So
And that's probably like the reason that I said I wasn't like agreeing with myself this game either, and like it's a really bad game.
yeah, yeah. Because if you went bot earlier, you wouldn't have get either blue or grump, but you would have made sure that your bot lane wasn't gonna die. So now,
Mm-hmm.
now that you gave up your you in the early game you gave up your top lane and your mid lane by not ganking. Now you gave up your bot lane by going to your top side. So you try to play on a lane that you already gave up in the early game. And you're lucky because she managed to find a kill. But if she died here, like your whole macro was fucked, and you ended up with 3 losing lane because you didn't keep playing around the lanes that you wanted to win with. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why you should be having a plan each and every time you're backing. Even if your plan isn't perfect, at least having a plan allows you when you're watching back your games it allows you to understand what went wrong and why your plan wasn't like perfect or good, or why it went wrong. Like here, if basically we're thinking about plans, you were planning of, I don't know, taking like your whole topside and I don't even know, playing your whole topside and maybe playing for Herald, and you could be thinking, okay, so maybe it wasn't the right move because uh, my top laner got the kill, so there wasn't anything else to play top lane. Uh, my bot lane ended up dying because I didn't cover them, so maybe the right move was going bot lane. You see, you can be adjusting your game plan each and every time that you're backing when you're watching back your replays. You could also be thinking, okay, since my top laner got a kill, maybe I could have been invading or things like that. Okay, that's how you can try to improve by yourself. So now let's see what you're doing, because now Herald is about to spawn. We have priority mid. We know that now Kale wins her matchup, and the wave here is slow pushing back. So basically, in like 1 minute or 30 seconds, if your god is too dumb and pushes, you can have a gank top timing that will give you the setup to play Herald right now. Okay. Oh shit! Didn't reach my chat for a whole like hour or so. Yeah. Well, now I guess I am too message. There are too many messages to answer them all. So I try to answer question in the chat if you have some. But now, okay, so at least yeah, you saw this gang timing, so it wasn't that bad in the end.
Yeah, but my top lane is AFK.
Yeah, but anyway, you shouldn't be ganking while the wave is that big. You anyway, she can be AFK or even she could be playing. You cannot fight this gank. Like right now, you're fucking her lane up so hard. Basically, when doing so, like you remember when we talked about like wave states and what you could be doing with those different wave states. If the wave is frozen, you can gank at any time. Like nobody cares. If the wave is crashing, you have to make sure that the wave isn't too big, so you do not force your laner to sack some CS just to get a kill. Like right now, you have to wait kill for Kale to clear the whole wave, or at least take most of them. Here, you forced her to play Urgot too early, so she couldn't play the wave, and I guess she lost some under turret. Not that much, because in the end, Urgot flashed, so she didn't lose that much. But still, you forced her way too much, and the game could have gone so wrong just because of the CS difference in this move. Like, you cannot force a gank with that much CS. And here, you're playing Herald, but you didn't get any setup first. Like, your gank failed, and Urgot is already up there, and the wave is slow pushing back to him. So basically, if Urgot was good, I guess, he could already be moving here and fighting with Ivern, where we don't know where Ivern is, but he could be in this bush. So he could be like already moving here and fighting, because he has no setup to do. Like, he already has his wave set up to play the Herald and then get the wave back under his turret. You almost had your setup by ganking him and killing him. That was the setup that you tried to have. But now you're studying Herald without the wave being crashed. So basically, that's a mistake. You could be roaming right now. Understanding different setups allows you to see when you're supposed to play objectives or not. Like here, basically, if Fjorgot was a really good player, he could have fucked you over at Herald. Anyway, you got lucky. You really have to see the different setups. Okay, so now that you backed, you decided to go for bot side, I guess because you had some farm, some camps. And since you got Herald topside, that was the best decision. We don't care if Kel died because it's your fault. Like, it's not your fault right now. Okay, so what's your plan right now?
Getting a play on bot lane. And
How? Ganking?
Yeah.
Okay, is this the kind of wave setup where you can gank?
I mean, I think we can if they bait out the trash to, like, force a play for them.
So, imagine Trash works up like this, tries to hook Eric, and he gets him, and he flays back, and yeah, then you can probably do something and kill Trash. Okay, so now if Trash is smart, they are not pushing this wave because their jungle is topside. They have a wave slow pushing to them. They can just sin it and keep it around here, and they are safe, and you cannot gank this way.
So I should walk through river into their, like, blue side jungle, drop Herald, and then go for it?
I think the correct play here is just you got your red. I think you can go for Krugs right here to get 30 more seconds to understand how the wave will go will play out on bot lane. Like right here, it's not playable. But if the wave, if the next wave is still here, if this wave, joins this wave here and creates a huge slow push, which can lead to a crash, here you're creating a diving setup, which is interesting. On the other hand, is they instead here try to push. In 30 seconds, the next waves will meet here, and this is a ganking setup. Is they instead, in the next 30 seconds, manage to sin the wave, so by playing correctly, sinning the wave and keeping the wave frozen here, we have to see that Kiana is moving too, so probably the best move is breaking the freeze and then dive. But that's the 3 possible moves that are available here. Right now, there's nothing available here because the next wave is way too far, so there's nothing to play on this wave state. Like the wave is too small to play for a dive, and the wave is too froze to play a gank. You could be trying to force a lane gank right here, or since you're playing Evelyn, you can just like walk past through here and do a lane gank. But still, since the wave is frozen, Fresh can just like flash out, Lantern is Varus, and they are safe. So this is really not a good ganking setup. And you're wasting time trying to force a move where you could just get free gold playing like either your Raptors or your Craigs right now. You really have to wait for the next wave to understand how the wave state will evolve. Okay.
Okay.
And that's how you should be thinking, like in at every state of the game. Like if a wave state is like bad for a gank, like a wave frozen here, you have to think, okay, should I be covering, or should I be like doing some camps to wait for the wave to push back because my laner is safe, etc., etc. That's how you should be thinking. Here, I think that your lane is safe enough because everybody is full health and they have vision, so your bot lane is safe. So you could be farming, and they shouldn't die. They can still die because like it's solo queue and they can be shit, but they should be safe here, so you can farm. Okay. Okay. Anyway, let's hear how it goes. Because now you're trying to force a playbot. Oh yeah, and by the way, forcing a playbot here with your herald is the correct move because now that Kale wins by herself, and yeah, she's not. I don't want to say important anymore, but you're not supposed to play around her anymore because she is self-sufficient. So basically, now you have to make sure that either your bot lane or your mid lane is winning. Playing Herald mid allows your Kiana to roam, which is good too. Crushing your wave bot allows your bot lane to move mid, and is better for playing either Drake or the next Herald. So it depends on how you want to play the game, but putting Herald on one of these two lanes is the best option. Okay, so let's see what happens now. So they managed to crush the wave in the end. And we now see that the next wave is coming back. And now we're in an even state where this is a kind of setup where you can lane gank. And it's even easier with Evelyn, so we can just like walk up. And we can see that they played safely. As I told you, like they don't have their jungler by their side, so they didn't have to play aggressively, and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're doing your Krugs, but now it's off tempo because and now they are getting ganked, and you're not here to cover them. If you did it the other way around, you could have been there in time and cover the Ivan gank. Anyway, I think right now you should be stopping your Krugs and start helping them as soon as Ivan shows up. Okay, you lost a little bit of time passing upward, but anyway,
Yeah.
you're still quite here in time. Yeah, that was a nice counter gank, but see how like these Krugs should have been made earlier. It would have changed
Yeah.
the whole move. Like here, you were. Oh. Okay, you managed to get that. Now we can play Drake easily. No, the mid wave actually is so bad, so she has to play it. Okay, no, cancel. We cannot. No, but yeah, you shouldn't be backing right now. Perfect, because now no, Kiana doesn't have ult. No, basically they played quite well because they are playing on the timing where Kiana used her ultimate. So now it's 3v3. You're low. Tarek is low. Nobody backed. So I think this Drake is actually their Drake.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
thought so too, but this Tarek just kept going in and back in and back in, and
yeah, but you don't have to get baited by your allies. They are always dumb as fuck, so you basically just recall here. Allows them to die if they really want to play this Drake.
Yeah, I should have done that. Yeah.
She still steals. Yeah, because now since you didn't back and they tried to force Drake and they kept being baited into playing Drake because you didn't back or ping them enough, I don't know. They were stupid. So now the whole wave crashed and it's hard to get it because now they are threatened of being dived because they didn't play it. But anyway, this is more like team macro more than your mistake. But here you should have been backing like sooner. Uh, Understanding that Kiana wasn't able to play because the wave was slow pushing back, and your bot lane didn't have a huge timing to play either because the wave was about to crash under the turret. So yeah, playing this Drake in the end was a really bad call. But I did it too. Like I called the Drake first, and then I saw the wave state and I said cancel. But the only mistake that you really did here was keep going back and forth here, baiting your team into playing.
Yeah, like following the Tarek. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're saying that you're following the Tarek, but the Tarek is following you, so you're basically baiting each other. Okay?
Okay.
If you clearly go out and start backing, you have more chances of him backing too than him trying to suicide like 1v3. By just staying next to him and thinking like, yeah, but I have to cover him because otherwise he will die. No, you're just baiting each other out. So that's the worst thing you can do. Anyway, so yeah, now you should be backing and you shouldn't be standing here because now you stole all of your AD carry's experience and you didn't even cover her. This kind of situation, staying out of vision is more useful because now they know that you backed. So if they wanted to, they could be diving her. Yeah, it's so free for them because they know that you're out. If you try to back in a more safe place or in a place where you're sure that they do not see you, they could be threatened that you're still around here, so they couldn't be diving her, right?
Yeah.
That's why Evelyn is so strong because they don't know where you are. And since you showed them that you backed, they clearly know that this dive is free. But anyways, they didn't play it. You really have to abuse the enemy team not knowing where you are. And here you showed yourself for way too much time. I don't know how I can like generalize that into a concept, but I would say if you're not like farming or ganking, like making sure that a gank is like a kill, you should never reveal yourself. If it's just like to poke or to clear a pink, like no, you should never reveal yourself. Okay, so now you backed. Okay, so what's your plan now? Because now we know that basically the Drake is dead. Okay, this is almost sure. Krugs are respawning. This is up. At least it's supposed to be up. Your whole top side is up. Okay. Kill managed to kill Urgot right now, right here. Kiana is in her waist is almost crushed and she has a level advantage, so it's kind of free kill. Basically, what's the plan here?
I mean, I would say probably going mid, but I don't think I did that since my ult isn't up.
So instead, if you think you cannot kill, where should you be going then?
Farming.
Yeah, okay. So basically, you're just going topside and start farming your lane. I think, yes, that's a correct call right now. You should just be clearing topside and making sure that when you're done clearing all your topside, you are with your KL on the wave pushing back here because you managed to crash, and you're here being able to crash it. Not to crash it, but to make sure that you can gank the wave in this state. Because now we know that the wave will be in this state, like in, well, either here or here in the next minute. So basically, your plan should be okay. No, you went. Well, at least you had Herald, yeah, for sure. So basically, we can just drop Herald mid and start passing topside, I think, or ganking mid if Zed shows up. But I don't think he's able to show up in this kind of wave state. Okay, when you just run mid.
Yeah, I fucked up the Herald, like it expired the second I wanted to drop it. That's why you saw my sweeper coming out.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Oh, by the way, your invade is so shit. You should never be invading in this kind of situation. Like Hurgot could just. It's only working because they have no vision, because they are clueless, because they are, I don't know, gold or silver or something like that. But this kind of invade should never be happening with Hurgot being under his turret. Like he can just like basically walk out, cut this escape, and Zed can just let his lane die and catch you around here. Ivern, we don't know where he is. He could be in this bush sitting, waiting for you, or in this bush. Like, this invade is so fucking risky. While you could have just, as we said, clear the wolves, clear the blue, and gang the situation that we told, that we said was about to happen like 1 minute ago. Like, I told you 1 minute ago that the wave would be bouncing back and you could be playing with your Kel to fight the Urgot that was about to get frozen around here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I told you that like 1 minute ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you're playing in their jungle without having any mid priority or top priority. This is so risky for nothing. Not be, well, in the end, since it worked, yeah, well done. It was really a great move.
But I mean, I don't think it's well done. That's why I picked this game, because it's fucking awful.
Like, since it worked, it's fine, but it has so many. This was so fucking coin flip. Anyway, well, you've been lucky. Yeah, and Ivan is here. As I told you, Ivan could be sitting in this bush. I have no vision, so I have the same information that you do. So you didn't have your red, you weren't able to cover your... Holy shit, this was so bad. Yeah, and now you're doing your top side because you have nothing else to do. Oh, and you ping her.
Yeah, because, like, she kind of tilted me this game, but...
Yeah, because she tilted you, but in the first pass, you already told like her to fuck herself. Like you basically passed bot, leave herself up to die to get dove, etc., and then you're flaming her because she died. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I'm flaming her since she literally said in the chat, I don't care about this game, I don't mind losing, and if I'm AFK, I'm worrying about my kid. So
yeah, okay,
she
she's a
kind of
bitch.
grieved us. That's why I'm like tilted.
But basically, you could have been playing around her on this timing. I guess you got tilted because I don't know, she misplayed something. It was supposed to be a free kill, I guess, and it could have been a free kill if you basically played. I don't want to say correctly, but I think it was a correct move, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should be taking midwave here. Like here, they already saw you here because Zed managed to land a shuriken, so they got vision of you. So they know you are mid lane. So basically, just reveal yourself and take the wave, because now it's dying for nothing.
Yeah.
If they didn't know you were mid lane, it would have been better to stay hidden and use the fact that they don't know where you are. But here, since they already know where you are, I think taking the mid wave is the best option. Okay, this situation, we have Kill, who is crushing a huge wave. We have our Tariq, which is mid, and Kiana, who is going back mid. So basically, we have a really good setup to play our Herald. So you should be pinging Herald and fighting it. With your Tariq, you should be pinging your Tariq to help you. Anyway, no pings, it's okay. And now Kel isn't playing anymore because, well,
Because
she's
the
still
kid.
dead, as you said. But now, you know, we were talking about like having some good setups and playing objectives, etc., understanding the setups. You had a good setup, so you started Herald, which was good, but then Kiel refused to play the objective. Like right now, instead of crushing the wave, going around here and helping you to play Herald, she went all the way back here and left Urgot crush the wave. So now they have the setup. So here, you should have understood that it wasn't your turn to play anymore.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. But you have to understand that you can't play it anymore. You made the correct choice, but since Kel didn't make the right decision, you cannot play this Herald anymore, okay? And this is another like emotional move. Like you wanted to play the Herald because it was the correct play, but in the end, it wasn't the correct play anymore. Tell him he is spamming more, one more isn't enough in gold. Yeah, that's right. One ping in gold isn't enough, like 5 or 6 ping, and they should be moving. But here, you should have told your KL to help you. Or at least, you could have also, like here, started with Herald. When you see that she's backing up, like around here, you should have stopped hitting Herald and went here to try to gank.
Yeah.
And that would have been your setup to play Herald. But now you're just giving them free Herald. And you're not supposed to play this Herald anymore. Like, this is so fucking risky.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're dying?
Yep.
Okay, you're dying. Yeah, it was way too risky to play it. Like, you didn't have mid prayer because here, she was dying. There were
Yeah, I just
two.
got tilted.
Yeah, that's an emotional
That's the
move right
thing.
now.
Like,
Uh, so yeah, that also comes from understanding the different setups. Okay. At the end of the game, we will like. Well, I think we have already seen a lot of things that we can talk about and try to improve on. Like basically afterwards, it's just like uh, I'm gonna watch like some small macro moves and tell you about how you should be playing Assassin late game. But we've already seen like a lot of mistakes just coming from understanding either wave management and when you should be moving, and setups when you should be playing objectives and how you should be playing them. I think we've seen kind of a lot of stuff already. Okay, so now we're gonna go a little bit faster into the game and wait for when all the laning phases are over. Okay, so now basically all the turrets are dead, so we will see what you should be doing after like each and every vehicle. So first, what's the state of the game now? What's the information that you have? Is this a 0 stack magi? Or is it bugged?
I don't know.
Okay. I think it's a 0 stack magi. Maybe that's not the best option. You don't even have your mythic yet.
Like those things I know, but it probably isn't 0 stacks. I don't know. I don't see how it is, but like I want that, and I usually buy Dark Seal like first pack.
Okay, can we just talk about this? You're not supposed to hit this word. Okay, basically, what I was telling like Goku last time we were talking about coaching. When you're playing an objective, like here we obviously want to play Drake since you're trying to clear vision around Drake. So first, one thing you have to understand about playing Evelyn, you're not the one that should clear wards here. Like
Yeah, I
as
know, but
Evelyn,
there's no one else.
yeah, but since no one else wants to clear it, then this ward will still be up and you won't be playing around it. It only means that you have to play in this side of the map. And if, like, someone will obviously try to clear it at some time, like Tarek or something like that. You just have to leave them do it. Like here, you're just saying that nobody will do it, so you'll do it yourself, but it's a mistake. Here, you're just exposing yourself way too much. Other thing, when you're playing like for an objective, one thing that is really important is getting priority first, so you can basically play vision for the first time you get priority mid, and then come back afterward with the next mid priority to play the objective and keep the position.
Yeah.
Here you don't have mid priority yet, and you're already trying to play vision, and you're not you're alone because basically Xayah didn't want to play vision, which was the correct play right now. So you're just exposing yourself for nothing and taking risks. Okay.
Okay.
Here you should now like you can proc your red trinket and try to see if there are some wards etc. to scoot at least. But when you see this pink ward, you should be backing off like instantly and start walking back into your jungler by a safe route, a safe path. Yeah, because now you're taking too many risks. And if you're getting caught, like right now, the Drake is gone. So basically, you're not allowed to take this one. Like here, I guess you thought you were safe because you used blue vision plant here.
Yeah.
But you never checked this version. Yeah. Even if you managed to correctly see this bush, you didn't. This bush is still not safe, so they can cut you like this, and you're dead. Or at least you have to use ultimate. And if you don't have your ultimate, Evelyn is not a champion anymore, so basically they can just fight Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you're not supposed to take so much risk. And even even after getting like chunked half of your HP because of a Z combo shadow, you still decide to land one more auto on this fort. Like, what the fuck was that? Now you have mid prior. So now you can decide whether or not you're trying to play the Drake. And since they already got in position, and you didn't manage to get your vision on the objective, you should just be pushing mid lane with Kiana right now. You should just like leave Drake right now. You cannot play it anymore. So you're doing the correct move of saving the Drake. But I think the correct move was like opening the map by playing the mid turret right now. Oh no, no, you're coming back.
Yeah, I knew this was not what I wanted to do.
Damn, those games are such some Clum fiestas. It's so painful to watch. And now you have a slow push back mid. I don't know how she managed to get a kill here. They're doing great. Like, we saw Ivern top lane fighting, I guess it was Kale. So now that Kiana managed to get a kill, yeah, you can. Let's talk about how, yeah, I already told you how objective was supposed to be played. So basically,
Yeah.
mid priority, vision first, and then either give out mid priority, camp this bush to force them to come and trap them, like either in this bush or in this bush, or taking mid priority back after you got vision here, here,
Yeah.
and here, and then forcing the Drake. And since you have position, they cannot enter in this space. That's how you should be playing the move. Normal. Instead, like, I don't know what happened and why you went in first, two. Oh my fucking god, please stop hitting those words. It's not your job. You have like 0.7 attack speed. Like, you're taking ages just to take a ward. Just please don't hit them. It's not your job. And correctly understanding here that Zaya was coming was also the correct play. That you know, because we saw Ivern topside. I don't know when we see Ivern topside right now. When is it? Here we see Daisy. Well, since you do not see Ivern on the minimap, okay. Here we see Ivern. Okay, here. He's low, he's backing. We know they have no jungler. Okay, there's no
Yeah.
point in like forcing to fight Drake. Like, you can get the Drake easily because like they have no jungler, but you don't have to fight the Drake. You can just like come in and pick it up with your smite. There's no point in fighting it, right? Like,
Yeah.
here we basically see that they keep hitting it, but you have the smite. So just wait for them to do it if they want to do it. Right now, why do you keep showing yourself? Why do you even enter this pit? You could just be invisible, go all the way around here to make sure that the first target you kill is trash because you have a level lead, your Kena is coming, etc. Or you could either also be just zoning them, like pressuring them and waiting for your Xayah to come, just so you win the fight 4 against 2. Like, here, it's already a winning fight because it's a 3 against 1, but you're engaging in a pack of 2 against 2. So basically, this fight is even right now, and it's not even even because he has a 3 level lead on you. So basically, in this fight right now, they have the lead. If you wait like 3 more seconds, it's a 3 against 2. So now you have lead, okay? So basically, just by stepping here, you're already misplaying because you're starting a fight. You're starting a losing fight. Sorry. Like, here, why would you want to engage a Drake that still have 2.5k HP? You have the smite, right? You have to play it slow right now. Just wait for your team to come. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so this is an absolutely devastating move, a game-losing move right now. Just because, like, well, for so many different things, but basically just not waiting for your team to regroup. Because of that, you lost 3 people and a Drake.
Yeah.
See how sometimes willing to play is like so harmful for your team. Just waiting sometimes is so much better. This is the same shit like people not willing to wait in bushes to prevent ganks or stuff like that. And instead we'll try to force some ganks instead of just waiting. Like this kind of stuff really fucks up so many games. And here, just trying to force a move here instead of waiting really screws up the Drake fight. Anyway, you have to understand those kind of setup. If you see that the fight is playable, like how can I turn that? Like if you know that you will have a number advantage, you have to wait for the number advantage to be effective, to be like applied around you in the fight. Okay, and really keep an eye on where your team is before engaging the fight. Here you didn't wait for your Kiana, and you could have also waited for your Xayah, but that was another story. At least waiting for your Kiana would have changed the fight so much. Anyway, just keep an eye on the numbers and their position before starting a fight. Here, I think we could have played a Nashor right now. Basically, we saw them pushing here. Like they took Drake after a good fight. We saw Zed pushing here, Varus wave clearing here, Ivern, and I don't know who else it was. I think it was Thresh going back into your jungle, moving back up. We saw Ivern taking blue, and now I think we saw him like escaping through this ward. So basically, we know that he's recalling. We know that Varus also has been recalling because he lost his wave, and we saw him backing off to his turret right here. Xayah has mid priority. Taric is moving up. You could have just pinged your kill to play Nashor instantly, and you can just move up right now instead of playing Rom to play Herald. To play Nashor on his reset. Him being at base, he resetting because he was bot side, and he resetting with Ivan. So basically, it would have been a 4 against 1 in this situation. I think if we like put the whole vision, is that Varus will be like either in jungle playing Gromp or in his base. Ivan should be backing off, or at least being far from Nashor because we saw him passing here, so he could be here, or backing in this bush at least. Your god, since he doesn't have TP and I think he backed off, he must be in the jungle too, and that should be at base with Trash. Can we check this. So instead, he decided to Crux, so he's still not there. He who was supposed to be in the jungle isn't here. He is backing right now, and he decided to play the mid wave, but since he's quite low and hasn't backed yet, he still cannot play the Nashor. Okay. So my guesses weren't right, but still they are all out of position. So now basically there's a Nashor that can be played right now. Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't think we could do it fast enough, but
yeah, for sure. If you don't have kill, you cannot. Oh, and we saw that pushing bot right now. So basically, yeah, it was really. Oh, shipping. Yeah, so basically, right now, you passing bot and Xayah passing bot too, and Tariq backing, it's all trolling. Like, you shouldn't be in the bot side right now. There's no point, okay? Because if you show yourself on a pink, like if there happen to be a pink ward here and you're spotted, like they can just like force Nash so easily and take position, and you cannot enter the pit anymore. You should have been taking position around Nashers and you pressuring it. How can I generalize that? There's nothing to play about right now. The next important objective is Nasher. So basically, all the stuff that you should be playing, like vision, looking for gold, looking for picks, should be in top side. So you passing bot right now, you being even in the bot side without anything to do is trolling right now. Even if there's nothing to play, like you have no camps, this wave is pushing and this wave gonna meet in the middle, so it's gonna be an even wave. Even if there's nothing for you to play, you can still look up for some stuff because you're playing early. You can just like walk up all the way up in this lane and try to look up for like a Varus or a Z. No, Z is bot lane right now, but at least you could be looking for like a Varus or even Ivern, who could be farming like, I don't know, this camp or this camp, because we don't know if he did either of this. You can just like walk up and try to catch them. This is how you should be playing Evelyn in late game. I think I'm not an Evelyn expert, but other assassins play that way. Like you just play, since you have priority, you know that someone has to get this wave, right?
Yeah.
And since you got priority, you can sit in this bush, waiting for someone to get this wave. And you should be waiting in this kind of stuff, in this kind of bush, just to prevent them. Like in this kind of situation, nobody is allowed to take this wave. But since you're in low, they don't care. They will try to get this wave. And this is a moment where you should be killing them as an assassin. Okay? So wait in this bush instead of going bot side, or go in the jungle and look for a pick on Ivern, on like his camps, but do not go on the other side of the map. You only have to look for plays on the side where you want to play. Okay, anyway, let's see how that goes now. So now you wasted like 30 seconds. And that's not the kind of pick that you want to look for. It has a 3-level lead.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a pick, well, top laner are so cringe. Like, it's impossible for you to solo kill a top laner, right? You're an assassin. You cannot kill a top laner. It's Kale or Xayah's job, not yours. Your job here is to kill either Zed, because he's an assassin too, Varus, because he's a carry, Thresh, because he's a support, so he may be weak, and Ivern, because he's a support jungle. Your god isn't your target. Like, never. So here, this catch was trolling. And you even went in, like, without your Kiana being even close. Like, right now, you see your Kiana being so far away. Like, there's no way, like, she's going to fight soon enough for you to kill him. So that's the general rules that you have to remember in this kind of case is you should never be trying to kill someone who has like 3 level more than you. Like never. If you're alone, or even if you're two and you're both like one or 2 levels below, this should never happen. Instead, you should always be focusing on killing AD carries. Like this is your primary target, or junglers if they are weak, and this one is weak, so you can play for him. And mid laners. These are the 3 targets that you should always be looking for. Fuck top laners and fuck supports because supports can be tanky. Okay? If they are really, really mispositioned, like if your god is there and you have like Kiana, like the same setup but here, with Kiana playing here, you being able to flank, and someone else like Zaya or Tariq being able to come through top lane or something like that to make a 3-man move, yeah, you can kill a top laner. Otherwise, just focus the targets that you're supposed to kill. Okay. Way up. And now that you're dead, like I can just rush Nashos because Gal is still pushing bot, and your god can match her. So it's a 4v4.
Yeah.
No, it's a 4v3, sorry. Like Nashor is supposed to be dead right now. Anyway, it's gold, so he's rolling. Let's go. Okay, so now that your god is dead, yeah, I know the game is like going really fast, but it's because it's gold, so people are making so many mistakes. Is it gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Since it's gold, everybody is making so many mistakes, so the game, the flow of the game keeps changing. Now that your god gave his massive shutdown to Kiana, like she can just recall, and now you can pressure Nash again because you have a 36-second cooldown, and Kel is still pressuring bot. So now, when you respawn, you can just run at Nash. Oh, why are you going bot side right now? Oh my god, you played red. Okay, anyway. And now you cannot play Nashos anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you should have went straight up mid. Or at least straight up to Nash and ping them. But now you will know it. So I hope you won't make the same mistake. And I think in this kind of situations, I'm not even sure that you're supposed to be here. As Evelyn, I think you should be like already be around them, flanking, and looking for Varus on this kind of spot with this ward, or trying to pass through here with this ward. Like, there's no point in you defending here because your wave clear is shit and you're revealing yourself. But since we only see Ivern and Zed here, it means that Virus is somewhere around here alone, or even Thresh. Thresh is an easy target. Well, at least kind of an easy target. So instead of showing yourself here, you can just like use the fact that you're invisible to play around them, like in their back, and look for easy targets like Varus. Okay?
Okay.
Here we see Varus pushing top. So here, why are you backing? You just back. You were dead like 10 seconds ago. Wait, what? Oh wait, no, you never died.
No.
Okay, well, you should have
And
back
so
instead of
that's why.
defending. When you still have a 0 stack meta. Now it's kinda short because you were 4 and 1. Please do not buy meta if you don't have at least 10 stack on the dark seal. Like, it's a massive waste of gold.
I mean, I think I do had like 7 stacks or something, so. But yeah, I mean, the item is still like a bit of a coin flip. Like, if you die, it's fucked.
Yeah, for sure. This kind of fight, since you were late here, do not charm the Urgot. Your job here, as we said, isn't to hit this Urgot. This is the job of your Xayatari. Your job here is to prevent the backlane from being able to play the fight. So instead of charming Urgot doesn't give a fuck of being charmed. If you just like move on the side here and place your charm on either Thresh or Ivan, they will have to back off because they cannot face tank the charm. Okay? So here, you're wasting all of your pressure as an assassin. So now you're basically useless for the rest of the fight. Because now Ivan and Thresh aren't threatened anymore. They can just like stand here without being threatened. And here once again, like here you shouldn't have walked through your base. Like this was the correct path to hit Ivan first. Instead, you're placing yourself in a position where Urgot can just walk just right next to you and prevent you from killing Ivan. Like as an assassin, you should always be looking for flanks or well, I don't know if it's called a flank too, but coming from behind them.
Yeah.
That's your job. You're not even supposed, like, just standing there and showing yourself creates so much pressure that the team fight will happen, like, will be better for your team around here. Without you even hitting. Just because they backlane won't be able to do their job correctly. Because if they do, if he shields Urgot, he's dead. And he has to walk into your team because otherwise he's dead too. That's how, by just standing still here, you're changing the outcome of the whole fight around here. Okay? By standing here as an assassin, you're only helping their front lane to do their job. And their back lane just have to work even more in the back lane. So they are repositioning themselves and still playing the fight quite as they should do. Okay?
But I should just always be doing this, because like in this game, the Varus is like not a threat at all. Like the only threat to our team was like the Urgot.
Yeah, but if Urgot is fighting 1 against 4, like he's gonna die. But if Urgot is fighting like 4 against 2, like Ivan and Urgot, he can basically turn your team, well, fight your team and win. So that makes a whole difference. If you manage to kill Varus and threaten Ivan so he cannot like shield Urgot, you're basically allowing your 4 other team members to hit the Urgot without being threatened by a Varus ultimate, a Thresh Q, an Ivan Q, or being shielded by Ivan. See, you're just making your team's job so much easier just by standing behind them. So yeah, it depends on the game. here,
Okay.
Urgot was too tanky to be killed fast because he's a top laner, he's tanky, he's a bruiser, so it's hard to kill instantly. On the other hand, if they had like an assassin being fed, yeah, you could be threatening their assassins going into your backlane by just standing into your backlane and showing yourself up when they try to engage. It can be a solution, but in most cases, just standing and trying to kill their backlane is the best solution.
Okay.
Or anyway, if you can just at least kill like Varus, or not even kill them, just force them to back. Kill Varus, kill Thresh, kill Iron, and your whole team dies to Urgot. He cannot end alone. Instead, if you try to kill Urgot here and you miss, you die, and your whole team faces like their whole team without you, like you basically know that the game is lost. So that's how you should be like engaging your team fight as an assassin. Always think about it.
All right.
And I don't know if it was Goku who told. I learned that, but basically, just by standing in the back, you're able like to split the team fight. So basically, here we can see that there's a huge group of 3 people against 3 people right here. If you stand here instead, you basically have a 2 against 2 here, or a 1-on-1 here with Varus, if Varus is standing here. A 1-on-1 here because they are now like pinched between you and him, etc. So you're creating like many smaller fights instead of one huge big fight. Even then even here we can split the fight into small fights. Like here we can see this one and this one. So basically, instead of trying like to force some 2v2 fights that are like coin flip, you can basically like turn and try to play for the moves that are easier and turn the fight into a 2v1 here, leave him to die because he's almost dead, and then turn the fight into another 2v2 which is easier, etc, etc. You always have to think like that in while playing team fights. It's hard to see at first, but understanding how you can split the fights in order to get some smaller winning fights for your team is so important. Sophia is calling you. Mita, are you here? Yes, he's here. I hope I'm not saying too much stuff, so you can just just try to remember, or tell me if I talk too much.
No, it's fine.
Because I'm going over a lot of stuff through the game, so I guess it can be hard to understand all of it at first, or not even understanding it, but just remembering all at once. So,
I mean, I do understand the most things, but I kind of struggle like applying it in game because of like bad habits and stuff.
yeah, that's always the hardest part. But just as I say to my other teammates, like in my team, etc., just by forcing you to think about it in the game, not even applying it, just thinking about it in game. At first, you will take some bad decisions, but since you thought about it, you will be able to improve your decision next time.
Yeah.
And over like 10, 20, like 50 games, after 50 games, thinking about it each and every time, it will become an automatism, and you will be able to go on another point, etc., etc., and move on. Like it's always like that. You just have to think about it first, and force yourself to think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard at first. That's why I always say it won't come like after a coaching session like this. you won't win every single ranked and move to master and be like reach your dreamt gold, your dreamt role. Sorry, it will take time. But since you had this coaching session, you have all the tools now to work on, and it will take like for sure 50 or more games. But in the end, you will be a much higher spot than when you started if you force yourself thinking about it.
Yeah.
If there are other stuff we can go over here. Okay, so that's quite nice, kind of punishing them for overstaying. Okay, so here, as we talked about, yeah, this is the kind of pick on autoplaner that you want to do because we have 3 team members here, so basically it's a free move. Yeah. You're not killing him right now, but now that he's mid-life, the next fight is much easier. Yeah, nice pick. You have no mid pressure, they can be coming from everywhere. So it's kind of a risky call.
I mean, I just thought it would be fine since it was a like 4v5. But...
Yeah, but they still have their most fed team member, so it's hard to fight this, even 4v5.
Yeah, I just thought about like Ivern died, so they won't have the smite, so we get Baron kind of for free and then just turn on them, but...
Okay, now you're making the correct call. As we said, flanking them. Oh no, never mind. Like, you were in a good position, but I don't know why you decided to move all the way back then. Anyway, that's a mistake we already talked about, so it's obvious that you will make it more than once in this game. Okay, I don't know why you're fighting here. What the fuck is happening here? Why a fight is happening here?
I wasn't sure, to be honest.
You keep charming the Jurgot, so yeah, but as I said, it's a mistake we already talked about, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing new here.
To be honest, I don't know why that fight even happened.
Yeah, I don't know
in the first place.
Okay, that was quite good. Now you can get a free Drake. Okay, that was a good fight, basically. And in this fight, at least you focused Ivern, so we have an example of a fight going well when you're playing it correctly. Now we are 3 against 1 against Urgot, so it's much easier to fight. They will lose because Urgot is way too fed, but at least the fight went well early on.
Yeah.
And we see that it was way much easier than what happened in most of the other fights. So yeah, we have a good example. Damn, she does absolutely no damage.
No.
What? What the fuck am I watching?
I don't know, dude.
And why didn't I have? Oh shit! It worked like that.
Yeah, actually lucky.
No, okay, they are just messing with you like they're just playing with their food right now.
I mean, they shouldn't have done that, because, I mean, yeah.
No, the game was supposed to be over already. Like that troll bike going back here.
Yeah.
Anyway, what should you be doing right now? You should be looking for Varus. I think we've always seen Varus like pushing back waves around here or here. So basically, what I would have done is like backing, traveling all the way up to here, and catching Varus when he tries to get the next wave to force a 4v5 fight for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to use your ultimate on him because he's so shit that you can just one-shot him with E and Q. But at least he's dead.
Yeah.
Like right now, why did you change? No, we already talked about this. You have to walk all the way back.
I mean, I just thought about, like, if the Z engages, I can just one-shot him.
Yeah, but you won't because you're playing Evelyn, so you cannot one-shot an assassin as easily as that. Like that can just R if he's threatened of being charmed. He will just go back
I mean,
to
if he
his.
doesn't see me and he engages on the Tarek, then I can one-shot him.
You think
Like,
you
it's
can
pretty
one-shot him
easy, to be honest. Yeah.
before him going back to his shadow?
I mean, if I do it quickly and he reacts a bit slow, then yeah. It's
Yeah, but
possible.
you're not playing against a grandpa, bro.
I mean, I did it before, like, I've experience on it, but
Did you?
I guess.
Well, I guess if he's really slow, yeah, you can manage to get a kill. But I think it's easier to like move around them and try to get a pick, like right now on Ivern or Zed by just moving this way. Or trying to cut the ones that will try to farm this wave, as we talked about. Because Varus is always hungry for more farm. Okay, nice one. Now that they have no smite, we have the same situation as for the other Drake. Now we can basically force fight, so nothing to be scared about. Okay, well played. This should be a free Nash. Okay, perfect. Well played. So now what you can do as an assassin in this kind of situation is an off-tempo move. So basically, the correct tempo in this kind of cases will be, since you kill Nash, you just like back with your team at 5, go back to base, set up the 4-1, or I don't know which strategy you want to apply, but in most time it's like a 4-1. Okay, and then pressure for turret here to get your result. Your reward, sorry. Anyway, but instead, what you can do is like bait the fact that your whole team is backing. Like you're saying, yeah, okay, we got the objective, but instead of everyone backing, you're just letting your team back. So now you know that they have to set up their wave to play the next move. So you know that someone will have to depush this wave, or to depush this wave if you're all the way bot. So you know that someone will be pushing. So your move can be like to kill the one that will be depushing here, and then backing to force a move off tempo, like a 5v4. But since he will have like 40 seconds on his timer, and you will be only late by 7 seconds since you had to back, you will basically be up tempo on him because you made this off tempo move first.
Yeah.
kind of hard to understand, but basically what it means is you just like stand in this bush as Kiana is doing and wait for someone to show up here alone to try to clear the wave, thinking that you all backed and kill him, so you can just play the next move more easily. Okay, and that's basically what you're doing right now, but you backed. Instead, I guess someone will show up here in like 10 seconds. I don't know, like Varus or something like that. Or probably not. They will just leave the waste push back, I guess. We were still winning. Anyway, no, they fight.
Yeah.
They fought here to get away. Okay, so it's still quite good. You would have been uh, on time at the break to play it, but if someone tried to fix this wave, at least you would have got to kill.
And my team is just grouping, so I thought I'd go bot.
Yeah, but that's the point of the move. Like basically, your whole team is grouping, but you are using this. Well, your whole team is backing, so the enemy team thinks your whole team is backing. So that's when you can find an easy pick because they won't think that you are still on them. You know that's the famous time where, well, I don't think you played many times AD carry, but you're just
like
going
you
back on
catch
your
them
lane.
off guard.
Yeah, and the Evelyn is already on your ass with ult up and watch shot you when you try to get away. Like this is so annoying, and this is off tempo, and that's why it's so annoying because it's not their turn to play because they got nashed and they were supposed to recall, but you still catch them off guard because of that, and this is so powerful. And you shouldn't be the one being on the side. Yeah. Holy shit, you hit her, it's hard.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's more Evelyn like specific. So I don't know, but often.
Yeah, I mean, just I had a lot of AP, so.
Yeah, the one on the side should be the one with the more mobility or split pushing power. And here, I think it's like Kel because he has so much split push power.
Yeah, but I just thought that I'd do it since she didn't really do it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I'll play it. So things we have to remember from this session. First, your positioning in fight. I think it's really important to work on this, and it's the simplest thing to work on because it's really just thinking about where to place yourself before engaging. Okay. This is the first thing that you should work on because it will really improve your team fighting and improve like all the different results from your team fighting. Okay. Next thing, important thing, I would say is understanding wave management, but this is harder. Understanding wave management and try to guess what will happen in the next minute, or at least in the next 30 seconds to begin with.
Yeah.
Like understanding where the wave will be. Like you can play some mini games with yourself. Like just you finish a camp, you bet over where will be the wave in the next minute, and you check if you can guess it correctly. And just by doing this and knowing where the wave will be in 1 minute, you can adapt your path to be where the next action will happen. And this will lead you to have way more successful games or counter games. Okay. That's the second point I think you should work on, but it's way harder and it will take way more time. So for now, just think about it and try to guess at least in the next 30 seconds, or at least understand where how the wave will react now. Okay. Um, and the last thing we talked about, which was quite important, was, I guess focusing in team fights was kind of important, but I guess it will be corrected by the initiating the team fight correctly. Like you shouldn't be hitting the most tanky member. You should always be trying to hit the most squishy target. And I'm quite sure we went over something that I forgot right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Understanding your setups.
Yeah, like the objective setups, right?
Yeah, objective setups. Like really understanding when you can play an objective and when you cannot. And it basically revolves about understanding setups. So if the wave is crashed, if the wave is froze, if your team is safe, bot lane, etc. It's understanding all of these small concepts and understanding is they are able
So
to
just
move.
mostly about like the prio mid. That is important to like be able to ward and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is a kind of setup, but in your game it didn't happen that much. Like the most the one that happened the most is like crushing a side wave and using this crush to play the objective and understanding that if the objective is too long or if your team isn't helping you or like so many things can happen, but basically if you crush and the crush alone doesn't allows you to play the objective, you have to cancel the objective because the setup wasn't good enough. You see, like just like we saw on top lane where Kale crashed, you started playing the Herald, but then she left the wave bounce back, so you couldn't play it anymore just because the setup wasn't good for you anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. And it happened also at Drake, where you started Drake when your bot lane crashed. I think it was your bot lane or your mid lane crashed. But then they had to back because no, okay, I remember now. It was with Kiana. You know, you had you killed your bot lane, but then Kiana had to move mid because her wave was slow pushing to their turret, and your bot lane couldn't move because the bot lane was slow pushing to their turret, so they would lose a lot of farm. So this is a kind of setup where you have to understand that no, okay, the setup isn't good. I cannot play this Drake. I have to leave it for now. And we know that it's annoying when in those cases the enemy team takes it in front of you. But since you didn't have the setup, well, you just have to leave it to them. Anyway, like fighting them is just a waste of time for everybody in this kind of cases. Okay, I think we went over a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have any like specific questions or something like that? But I guess you can still private message me them. But if you think about any question right now,
I mean, not really. It all kind of makes sense. So.
okay.
Yeah.
I hope I was able to provide you some useful information. I'm not a jungle main, so there might be some like jungle specific advice that I wasn't able to give you. But I went over like the basic macro moves that you should be doing as a jungler and how you should be thinking.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, yeah, well, I think everything makes sense, so.
If you want to check the like the review back, I will upload it on YouTube, so you can come back and check it anytime.
Okay.
And if you have other questions or question about like specific moves, you can always send me like some small videos, like 30-second videos, so I can watch the move and tell you what I think about it, etc.
All right.
Okay. Well, if you don't have any other question left, I guess we can just like call it for today.
Yeah, it's good.
And go back to practice now.
All right.
Perfect. See you then.
See you.
Bon, voilà, ça c'était à peu près tout. Au final, on a passé un peu plus de temps que prévu, 2h40. Ah, c'est finito. Euh... Ah, cover, putain. À chaque fois, je me dis que je vais tenter de le faire court, mais genre, j'y arrive pas, genre. Je n'arrive jamais à garder les reviews courtes. Ah, ça aura quand même duré 2h30, quoi. Oh, putain. Bon, anyway, je pense pas que tu restais beaucoup plus longtemps, là. T'as des choses à raconter, toi? Ah, ok, nickel. Bah, du coup, on se retrouvera demain, du coup, pour la suite des ranked, les ranked et peut-être un peu de match seeker aussi, encore, on verra. Enfin, game to win des civilisations. Mais bon, ça, effectivement, c'est pas le truc le plus intéressant. Je suis pas un grand fan de civilisation perso. Si je veux faire un stream jeudi, je pense que ouais, demain je dois stream. Et après demain, du coup, je cancel, je fais ma pause et on reprend jeudi. Ça me paraît faire. Bon, sur ce, je vais vous laisser. Merci d'avoir suivi. Si j'ai dit du bullshit, n'hésitez pas à me le dire aussi. Parce que c'est possible que je lui ai dit des grosses conneries. Mais je crois que j'ai su rester assez général encore. Euh, Discord dans la description, dans les annonces, si vous voulez le rejoindre pour continuer à parler, c'est cool. La vidéo va être disponible là, dans même pas, je sais pas, 1 heure ou 2, le replay, si vous voulez le watch. Et c'est à peu près tout. On se retrouve demain du coup pour un vrai stream cette fois. Pour Ranked et Match Seeker. Est-ce que je le fais en anglais? J'imagine que j'ai pas forcément besoin de le faire en anglais. On va voir. Euh, you can join my Discord in the description, in the announce panel. Next room will be tomorrow. We will be playing like League of Legends and probably Mage Seeker. Like play a little bit of Mage Seeker after the ranked um, tomorrow. And yeah, I'll be uploading the replay on YouTube in basically like 2 hours or so. It will be available quite soon. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. À demain, Poctube. Ouais, ça va faire 3 jours d'affilée. On va voir si j'arrive à tenir demain. Il sera peut-être chiant le stream, on sait pas. On verra. On va prier pour que non, mais